One question kills more coaching conversations than any other. That question, what do you do? The problem, you're answering it wrong. Let me explain. Hey, coach, I'm Ronnie Noyes. I spent 25 years figuring out what actually works in a coaching business. I'm also the author of How to Create a Killer Elevator Speech. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to answer the what do you do question in a way that makes people lean in and say, tell me more. We're going to cover three things. The number one mistake that's sabotaging your networking efforts, and it's probably something you're doing right now, sadly. The counterintuitive truth about what people actually want when they ask you what you do, and the simple formula that works in any coaching niche. And stick around because I'm going to share a story about a coach named Linda that perfectly illustrates why trying to sound impressive usually backfires. Let me start with the biggest mistake I see coaches make when networking. Actually, it's two mistakes and they're both avoidable, yet so common. Mistake number one, talking too much. You think that if you explain more, people will understand better. But here's what happens. Eyes glaze over, they start looking for an escape route, and you've lost them. Mistake number two, instead of actually telling people what they do, they use a creative title that they think makes them sound interesting and will start a conversation, but tells people absolutely nothing. Titles like Transformation Architect or Potential Unleashing Specialist or Success Catalyst. Eye-rollingly bad. Let me tell you about Linda. She came to one of my workshops frustrated because networking wasn't working for her. When I asked her how she introduced herself and how she answered the question, what do you do? She proudly said, I'm a life empowerment guide. So I asked her, when someone hears that at a networking event, would they have any idea who to refer to you, who you work with, and what they get out of it? Long pause. Then she said, probably not. So here's the problem with creative titles. Sure, they make you sound mysterious, but mystery doesn't attract clients. Clarity does. The lesson here is to ditch the title for now and focus on the listener instead of yourself and actually answer the question. When Linda switched to, I help burned out executives create work-life balance, everything changed. People immediately knew three things: whether or not she was talking about them, who to refer to her, and why. Now, you might be thinking, but Ronnie, don't I need to stand out? Don't I need to be clever or funny to capture attention? No, not when you're answering the question, what do you do? And here's why. This is the counterintuitive part that can be a bit confusing. So, because, yeah, there are a lot of coaches out there. Yeah, you have a lot of competition, but you don't need to tap dance or wear a funny hat to stand out. And that's what a creative title feels like in this situation, a verbal novelty. When someone asks, what do you do? They're not looking for entertainment. They're not hoping you'll wow them with wordplay. They're trying to put you in a mental box so they can move along with the conversation. This is actually good news because once you understand that people want to categorize you, they want a simple answer that helps them quickly understand where you fit, you can work with it. So instead of fighting that natural human tendency to put people in a box when we meet them, use it. Give them a category, but make it valuable. Give them something that gently disrupts their expectation while being crystal clear with useful information. Let me explain what I mean. What do you do is a social question, not a request for a proposal, not an invitation to pitch. Think about it like this. When someone asks, how are you? The correct answer is fine, thanks. How are you? Not a detailed recitation of the current state of your health. You have about 3.5 seconds to respond to social questions like, how are you and what do you do? What you do with those seconds determines whether the conversation continues or dies right there. So responding with a creative title or simply identifying yourself as the coach fulfills social obligation, yes, but doesn't do you any favors. People might not understand what you mean, so they mentally file you away in the whatever category. What you want to do is use that time appropriately and say something that matters, your elevator speech. So here's the framework for an elevator speech. Ideally, 7 to 9 words, but up to 13 words actually works just fine. The elevator speech answers the question, what do you do? By distilling the essence of your value to a particular client base. Let me give you the formula. Helping verb plus target market plus how it works plus benefit or result. What does it sound like? Here's a short version of my elevator speech. I help small businesses attract more clients. 7 words, clear, specific, benefit focused. Let's break it down. What I do, help. Who I serve, small businesses. How it works, attraction. Benefit they get, more clients. Now, the truth is that I help people develop marketing systems and tools, but nobody cares about my process. They care about results. My clients need marketing because they want more clients. That's a subtle but powerful distinction. Now, as time went on, I edited my elevator speech to clarify more details. It ended up sounding like this. I help small businesses attract great clients who pay, stay, and refer. I did this because I realized that I had their full attention with my answer. Why? Because it started out talking about them. Those 12 words attracted clients like a magnet. This is the way. Here are a few more examples so you can see how this works across different niches. I help overwhelmed parents create calm, connected families. I help retiring executives transition into meaningful second careers. I help new managers lead with confidence. Notice the pattern? Specific person, specific outcome. No jargon, no mystery, no fancy titles. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds too simple. Good. Simple works. Simple is memorable. Simple gets you referrals. But let me show you what happens when coaches try to get fancy, because I've collected the worst elevator speech responses over the years. And I sincerely hope you haven't used any one of these, but you may have heard them from time to time. Let me rapid fire these for you, all in response to the question, what do you do? I'm a consultant. Conversation killer. Nobody knows what that means. I work in the coaching business. Doing what? Football or t-ball or little league? How much time do you have? Red flag. Translation, I'm about to talk your ear off. What do you do? Dodge and deflect. Now it's just awkward and getting a little bit weird. It's hard to explain. Translation, I think you're too stupid to understand, or I don't know what I'm talking about, so I can't really tell you. But the worst, the meaningless jargon of the coaching world. I facilitate lifestyle transformations through holistic values expression. What? I love what this means, but I hate how it sounds. Pretentious AF. Each of these responses does the same thing. It shuts down the conversation instead of opening it up. And none of them is a good look for a coach growing a business. You know what's fascinating about introductions? You've probably heard that body language matters more than words, that communication is 55% visual, 38% tone, and only 7% words. That comes from Albert Mehrabian's research on believability of women in the workplace. But here's what people miss. It doesn't mean that your words don't matter. It means your words have to work harder because people are judging everything about you at once. Your words, your tone, your presence. It all has to align. This is especially true in your elevator speech because it's often your first and possibly only opportunity to establish credibility with new acquaintances. And here's the thing. In today's market, you can't afford to get this wrong. The number of active coaches more than doubled in the last 6 years. That means you're competing with twice as many coaches as you were 6 years ago. Your introduction matters now more than ever. When you craft your elevator speech, focus on these 3 elements. First, be specific about whom you serve, not people, not anyone who wants XYZ. Call them by name, category name. Say burned out executives or new coaches or empty nesters. Use the words or phrases they use to refer to themselves. Second, be specific about the benefit, not transformation or something waffly. Say attract more clients or create work-life balance or build a 6-figure practice. Third, do not use complicated verbs. Help is great. Support is good. Work with is fine. Coach is okay. Facilitate is not so great. Champion is pretentious. You get the idea. Be clear, not clever. You don't want someone to wonder what you're talking about. You want them to ask for more details. Now, here's what happens when you get this right. When you deliver a killer elevator speech, people respond with interest. Oh, really? Tell me more. Or, That's cool. How does that work? Or, do you have a business card? That's when you move to what I call the 30-second follow-up. And that's exactly what we're going to cover in the next video. Because once someone says, tell me more, you need to know what to say next without rambling or getting salesy or worse, freezing like a deer in the headlights. But we'll save that for next time. For now, understand this. Elevator speech isn't about closing a sale. It's about opening a conversation with the right people. It's about making it easy for people to remember you and refer to you. It's about establishing credibility in 3.5 seconds. Think about this. 72% of people say that a handshake creates a strong first impression in face-to-face meetings. Your words are just as important as that handshake. Actually, they're more important because while a handshake creates an impression, your words create a connection. The secret isn't being clever. The secret is being clear. Give people what they want, a simple way to understand and remember you while giving them something valuable, a glimpse of the specific transformation you offer to a specific group of people. Right now, we both know that there are people who desperately need what you offer, but they don't know who you are yet. With your killer elevator speech, you'll be able to show them you get and help them visualize what's possible without being pushy or salesy or overbearing. Let's recap what we've covered today. First, the number one mistake coaches make is talking too much or using creative titles that sound impressive but tell people nothing. Clarity beats cleverness every single time. Second, understand that people want to categorize you. Don't fight it. Use that brief, socially acceptable window to give them something clear and valuable that gently disrupts their expectations while delivering appropriate information. Third, the formula is simple. Helping verb, target market, how you deliver key benefits. 7 to 9 words. Focus on your clients and what they get, and never lead with your title or process. And remember, when you get this right, people will respond with, tell me more. And that's when the real conversation begins. I'll show you exactly how to handle that response in the next video. Okay, coach, was this helpful? Leave a comment or share your biggest struggle with answering what do you do in the comments below. And remember to subscribe for smart, simple strategies to grow your coaching business with confidence. Thanks for watching, Coach. I'm Ronnie Noyes, reminding you that today is a great day to be a coach.